Thanks for joining us, guys. Today we're going to go through some of the core workouts. Among many of the workouts that we do, you're going to see guys doing some boxing things like jumping rope, where they have to alternate their feet and mimics the movements of boxing. You're going to see them kind of popping their shoulders, doing shoe shines. You're doing boxing squats, and you're going to see them shuffling around the ring. And then we're also going to do some ab work. Everything we do is usually going to be on 3-minute time spans. 3 minutes with a 30 seconds to a minute break. 3 minutes are the regular round lengths in boxing. So we try to do everything consistent with what a fight is. Not to say we don't do things by sets also and quantities, but a lot of our workouts are going to be on rounds, 3-minute rounds. The conditioning in boxing is full body conditioning. Every workout, we try to mimic how it is the feeling of being in a fight when you really just want to quit. Your body's telling you to quit, but we refuse to quit. You're working your mind at the same time that you're working your body. And there's so many different aspects of boxing, where your feet are supposed to be, how much your knee is bent, your strategy. So all that comes into play when you're doing a workout. And that's how we individualize it for people's purposes when they go in the ring. There's nothing like boxing. I think it's just nothing. So in the amateurs, when we're conditioning in an amateur fight, we're going to be conditioning every single day pretty much, because we have to be ready to fight daily. We might get a fight in the weekend, and you'll be in tournaments where you have to fight day after day, once a day. So what we're going to do is we're going to do some strength training, conditioning. I personally don't think weights are good. We try to stay away from weights. But general conditioning, it's going to be full calisthenics, running. Guys will run 3 miles in the morning, minimum of 3 miles in the morning. We try to do it as a hit, high intensity. We're trying to get 3 miles fast. And we time everything when it comes to that. So whenever you do anaerobic, which we want to do lack of oxygen to our muscles, we got to do high intensity, because in the ring you're going to feel that. You want to prepare for that feeling in the ring when your body has no oxygen, and we still have to get through that.
So when you get the skill up, it's going to be really good.
Jumping rope is such an important part of boxing because you can't cheat the rope. So you have to jump the rope, and you have to keep it going. You can't stop. Also, on top of that, it does mimic the footwork in boxing. When a boxer's bouncing on his toes, they're alternating feet. It's the exact rhythm of how you move in the ring. But the greatest benefit is that you can't cheat the rope. You got to keep jumping. And what we do in the gym is a minimum of 11 minutes straight. You just keep doing it, you can improve, and you can do tricks. We could do crosses and double unders, triple unders, just a bunch of things, and have fun with it. Triple unders, super hard. I never did it. Maybe I did it one time, but not consecutively.
Tell me when to go.
My name is Rakshu Bourne. My son is Ralik Bourne. I'm one of the coaches at the gym. And Ralik Bourne has been training since he's been 9 years old, about 7 years now. The first initial change that I saw in him, he spent the majority of his time into video in his PlayStation. And that's all he did every day, all day. And so once he started training, that, he slowly progressed away from that, doing that. The more serious he got, he just completely left it alone. And has improved his grades also, because at the time when prior to boxing, he was struggling in his grades, but when he became more serious with boxing, his grades improved as well. Everything is based off of routine, routine and repetition. So those people that involve and can focus themselves into adapting to a routine and being so repetition about doing the same thing over and over just to correct one minor mistake, that builds a lot of character outside of boxing and in life in general.
Don't bring your foot close.
The technical part of boxing is going to be obviously the time with a coach. We do pad work. 2-5-2-3-2, 3-3-2. That's a 25. Let's go. That's all right, yo. You guys will shadow box. Which is shadow boxing is the most important thing in boxing. You can do it anytime, anywhere you go, and you get to work your mind. And the most important thing is sometimes people underestimate it, but you get to work on your technique the most in that way, the shadow boxing. And in sparring, that's a major, probably the most important thing pound for pound, because that's the real life stuff. You just can't do it as much as everything else.
My name is Mario Romero. I'm Damien's father. Damien's been training for, now we're going on, I want to say 5 years, 6 years. So he was actually at a summer camp, and they had a small boxing gym right across the street, and he became interested. He said, oh, I want to try it out. There's a stigma behind it because they think that kids are going to become bullies once they start fighting. It's actually the opposite. Kids learn very well, very young and fast that they can hurt somebody. They lose privileges as far as competing. So for young kids, it keeps them focused, gives them drive, and I've seen a huge confidence booster in kids. You know, they're very confident after coming out of the ring. They're sure of themselves. It's a great sport. It's something for them to really look forward to. I would recommend it to anybody that has a kid that, you know, has that interest in sparking. Well, you know, fortunately, Damien's mom is probably worse than I am. So, but yeah, it's a rough sport. You know, obviously, you don't want to see your kids sparring and taking punches and things of that nature. But it builds them up, makes them, you know, responsible young men. I think it's so there's the pros and the cons to it. And as a parent, you always, you know, want to make sure, and Coach Al is good on that too, that if he sees that they are in the ring and they're taking unnecessary punches or punishment in a sense, you pull them out of danger. You know, this is not a sport where you want to see kids get hurt, and it's all done, you know, responsibly.
In our gym, we have what we call hell rounds. So we have everything's competition based. So when he does a burpee, usually you see people jump as high as they can. We have to speed them up to fit, because we're trying to get as many as we can in a certain amount of time. We do a pike jump in our gym, and then he jumps and tries to keep his legs straight and touches his toes in the air. Step back. Real quick.
Should I see it? I need to make it a...
That's where you pay for the service, and then they'll send you an email, and it shows you where the skill level is going to be really good.
So when we do the impact, when we punch into each other to the stomach, we use medicine ball. You can do it by yourself with some things. We even have some tools in the gym for doing that. We swing a heavy ball and hit it in the stomach. That one actually is a great thing for us walking forward and getting punched to the body. Now you can see you don't want to back up, Ali, walk forward. Walk forward, make it back up. So when you're taking punches and you move forward mentally, it could hurt the person who's punching at them. Because it's like, man, I can't hurt this person. He keeps moving forward, I can't even back him up. And it could change the game up in that way too. Typically you want to exhale while you're taking the punch, so you don't get the wind knocked out of you, but the more you do it, you'll be able to breathe naturally and still tense up your stomach. We need to tense up the stomach so we don't hurt our organs or any, you know, our insides. So we just have to be used to tensing it up. So as they're doing the impact, I want them to be able to move forward. Forward, Dave. Walk forward, Dave. Or at least stand ground when they're taking punches and not get pushed around. You know, but we have to be able to take that for 3 minutes straight, punches to the body. I want the punches to be big too, and we got to take it everywhere. Solar plex, the sides, the obliques, even a little chest. Even we want to spread out those punches and get ourselves used to it. It's a mentality thing also. You have to be prepared mentally to take the punches, and then physically, the punches definitely help your body. You'll notice, especially in my gym, I try to tell guys to not grimace in pain, even if they're in the most pain in the world. In other sports, you kind of see that people tend to show off with it. When they're hurting, they feel like they have to make a facial expression, and it kind of I know mentally it does get people through it, but in boxing we don't have that luxury. In any fighting sport, we have to look like we're not hurt, so we can't show emotions. We can't show pain. We have to be cold. We have to look like nothing's bothering us. And if you watch, even if you watch fights, some of the best fighters in the world, 12th round, you don't realize these guys are really dead tired. But most of them don't make facial expressions of pain. The biggest facial expression guys do is an expression of emphasis, like if they're throwing a punch, and a grimace of punching hard, but not a pain.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Why did it fail?
Mine is working.
Why it's not going to the store, you think? Why it's not going to the store?
Yeah. Oh, what failed? Dozens or
Oh, no, I was talking about the
video? I called
Mom, stop me.
my house TV and the phone, just to test it out. But I'm gonna keep this one. 'Cause I tried to pick from this one, and then I'm gonna get more for the kids.
And you can hook that up to the fighters.
It'll give you an email. So you use downloader.
Yeah.
It'll give you downloader email, and you choose whichever one you want. The smartest one is the easiest one.
I did that when you got that when I was first up.
So with the downloader, they give you the code, and you download the smartest. I gotta get one of those. What is it? VP, IP.
DPS.
I gotta get one of those.
and you're doing a million sit-ups or anything, like we don't want to grimace. I remind the guys all the time, don't make pain faces. So you don't do that. It's what I hate about other sports actually, is that they have the luxury to do that.
The way it showed it was that it looked like everything, all the baseball channels, all
The other one?
It's boxing is just the best, man. There's nothing. It's a microcosm of everything you experience in life. When you see people in the ring, and your personality comes out in the ring, and it could be two polar opposite people, and they show the best of their personalities. Still could come out in the ring, and the worst could come out in the ring. And you could change also. Boxing is an art of change. And then that's what we have to do when we go to the gym. It's make changes. When people stop making changes, that's when we kind of know that they've hit they have a problem, and often people quit because making changes is hard. I think boxing improves every part of your life. I think when you do boxing, you find out who you are, you find things about yourself, because boxing puts you in a position, unlike any martial art, it puts you in a position where it's a small little finite space where you have to learn to operate in that finite space. When you're boxing, you have to beat somebody at their best game. But I think boxing is really the best, and in training, I believe it develops minds more than any other sport there is. I think boxing is the end-all, be-all best. This is how I feel. And even for kids, I'm gonna say this, even for kids, boxing I think is the best. It's the limited pieces that have so much depth to them. I think it develops these kids' minds so much more than these other things. I don't know much about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with kids, but it's also, you know, it's not it's not scary. You know, when kids feel that fear of having to, even just little drills of getting hit a little bit, it's different from wrestling. You know. I hope I'm not sending too many shots, but I just speak honestly. You know.